Oh, hi there. Today, I'd like to continue my conversation about the legalization of marijuana and how I disagree with it. I do not think it'll be beneficial for society, and there are a lot of questions that need answering, and I don't think it's the best solution for the problems of Canada. Okay, let's uh, let's let's talk a little bit about the virulent propaganda campaign that has been going on about marijuana for years, designed to brainwash people of simple thought, people incapable of understanding anything besides what they're told or what their preconceived notion of reality is, or if it just goes along with whatever it is they want to believe. Um, the thing about marijuana is that it is associated with clean and pleasantness, friendly environment, um, and it's isn't there isn't actually any basis for that. I mean, like it's it's got an organic kind of look to it, okay? And basically, this kind of campaign is a smear job and trying to cover up, the nasty side of the Metro Vancouver area for me and other areas for other people. They want to associate marijuana with an image of it that isn't accurate. They've been doing this for a very long time on social media, painting it in a picture that it doesn't frankly deserve. And it does have that, as I said, that nice clean look about it, but it's not. And there is this ideology that it will improve by gentrification the downtown east side. That actually is a topic of discussion amongst, people of slightly higher intelligence than the average everyday citizen. They're not much smarter, they're just a little bit smarter, that's all. And it's it's very hard to discuss this topic because you gotta be entirely careful on how you word things, but there are things that are just, from a critical point of view, uh, just stating that, this is a fact, I don't agree with you for this reason. Even that, can land you a lot of unwanted attention as far as trolls go and people being abusive in their language towards you, just because they don't like what you have to say. And there are some that believe that marijuana can be introduced legally through into the downtown east side and it'll sort of clean things up. Um, Perhaps it could, um, but it will create this delusion that, the downtown east side is a much better place than it is, or not as bad a place as it really is, and it just won't be accurate. Um, I mean, even the somewhat normal parts of downtown are really screwed up in their own ways, but yeah, they are. And I'm all for the poor, unfortunate homeless that live on the downtown east side switching from heroin over uh, to marijuana. I'd be all for that. I just don't think that they're going to do that, and it's not going to stop the crime that they commit of obtaining this whatever substance it is that they are using. And it is common thought by many people, especially by pot smokers, that marijuana is not a substance and almost like a food source or something. No, it isn't. If you're using it to achieve a physical effect, um, other than, actually eating something like an orange or something. It's a substance. It's not food. And it's sort of, the propaganda is painting it in that light, and it's inaccurate. It's a lie, an outright lie. And yeah, it's a very, very difficult thing to explain. Um, and there are other aspects of it too, and far more intelligent people than me could explain those other aspects, and how there have been things of less than scrutable um, um, things that have gone on, which help push the drive for marijuana being legalized, less than good things, which is not the image that Justin Trudeau wants to paint for marijuana. And he likes the idea of looking like Mr. Friendly, Mr. Nice Guy, and making a shitload of money when he's doing it, because people are going to be paying for this marijuana, of which it'll be constantly tinkered around with. And because you can't taste it, you can't smell that it's been tinkered around with, it doesn't mean that it hasn't. And a lot of pot smokers, they don't care. They're gonna go, oh, we can trust this is an establishment, and yet you'll turn around and you'll hear about Monsanto or something, and people will go, so there's a hypocrisy here, a total hypocrisy. Um, and I'm concerned because there most certainly is an image being pushed by the marijuana community that marijuana is in fact better than alcohol. And I've never thought that. I mean, the main argument is that people who drink and drive cause more accidents. I don't drive, so I don't have that problem. And also, there are other things that are just, not entirely accurate about it. And I explained this a bit in the video I made before about it, how it creates anxiety, depression, panic attacks, um, overall, just it's associated with a lot of neurological problems that people have, and it can cause schizophrenia in young people. And these people who will be buying it through the Canadian government will be test subjects, and they'll be paying for it too. And there could be anything in it. Really, there could be. And the people who run the show aren't going to tell anybody. They'll give them, cool sounding names, and you have idiots running around thinking that it's all good and preachy, but it's not. And there are a couple of points I would really, really like to explain, but kind of got duct tape around my mouth on this one. But I mean, as far as the crime rate goes in the downtown east side, that's not going to change. Marijuana being legalized will not change that. So that will be part of the campaign push for it, and it's just not accurate. It's an outright lie. I think I said that already, but oh, there was something else that did happen. If you've been watching the news, which perpetuates the propaganda campaign for the legalization of marijuana. I can't say it, but I know what it is. And it's really, really annoying. Because a guy like Justin Trudeau, he don't give no rat's ass about the people in downtown Eastside. I mean, get real. Obama just ruined the lives of millions of people in the Middle East. He doesn't care about a statistics of a few hundred people. There are people who do, and that's very commendable of them. But does Justin Trudeau? No, he doesn't. He wants the potential billions of dollars that the marijuana industry could create. And Where is that money going to go? Are we going to benefit from it? Absolutely not. Because he's part of the military industrial complex as well. Not the image he wants for himself, but Justin Trudeau is a fucking liar, a total fucking liar and a fraud. And there has been um, also another virulent campaign uh, against Donald Trump in Canada in particular. And Justin Trudeau, although doesn't often come out and say it, he's very much a part of that. And, there's a lot of things that are counter, they're counter what the average person's going to want. And funding these projects through bogus supposed gifts from our dear leader is nonsense. Because he's just going to take that money and it will not benefit the communities. It's most certainly not going to benefit the Downtown Eastside or anything like that. He's going to take it overseas with the military industrial complex. And a lot of people don't want to believe that about Justin Trudeau because he always says nice things on the television. The same nice things over and over again. And somehow we're supposed to believe that, he's telling us a credible story. But, such a headache. Feels like I'm, not able to speak. But the thing is, there's definitely a campaign to ruin alcohol for people. And, obviously people aren't going to take to that, but if they substitute it with marijuana and paint a different picture of it, money changes hands, then it becomes a very different thing. And the thing I can't emphasize enough is that being under the influence of anything, and that's the same thing with marijuana, while being behind the wheel is a bad thing. I don't drive, so I don't have that concern. I don't drive. I have no desire to drive, especially with gas prices going up. Um, yeah, this isn't one of my better thought out videos, but I did have some serious points I wanted to make, and I think I've done a good job of that, sort of. Anyway, I'm gonna go make a hockey video. I like making hockey videos better. 'Cause to be honest with you, I don't give a crap about the Downtown Eastside either, but well, there are things, okay? And I just don't like sanctimonious assholes running around thinking, oh, I'm Mr. Good Guy, really am an asshole. And me, I am an asshole, like Dennis O'Leary. But I don't pretend to be a sanctimonious cunt like almost every Canadian does. Smile on their face, stabbing you in the back when you're not looking. That's exactly what Justin Trudeau is. And he's a fraud and a phony. And, people say that a lot about Donald Trump, but you can actually say that and people will listen to you. Whereas you go to say that about Justin Trudeau, ain't nobody listening to you. Anyway, gonna wrap this up before I start rambling. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one.